All right. We live? Can anybody see or hear me? Let me know. All right. Video and audio. Thank you, Lenina. Brilliant. All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Eastern Utah. Welcome back to the earliest Cretaceous Cedar Mountain Formation near the town of Moab, Utah. Kind of near, I don't know, in the middle of nowhere here. It's the biggest town of any appreciable size. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining us way out here in the middle of the desert. We're going to have a fun stream today. It's, again, very hot out today. Everybody's a little bit tired. So, not going to be maybe the most animated on today's stream, but we've got more bones coming out of the ground, and I'm excited to have you watch along as we continue to excavate this new species of iguanodont dinosaur that we've got here. So, should be a fun, kind of laid-back stream, and I hope you're ready for that. If anybody's here for the very first time, welcome, welcome. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist. Oop, and my camera strap, or phone strap's coming loose here. And, yeah, I stream fossil science here on Twitch. When most people think about Twitch, they probably don't think about science, but I found that this is a remarkable platform. It's wonderful for science outreach. The kind of live interaction that Twitch allows for, I think, really kind of helps bring science to life for people who are watching. And it's been a wonderful tool for, explaining concepts and showing rather than just telling. Anytime there's some sort of a concept that I'm trying to elaborate on, trying to demonstrate. And of course, this works the best if you ask plenty of questions. The whole point of these broadcasts is science outreach. So, if there's anything that you're curious about, anything that you're confused about, anything you'd like elaborated upon, be it about dinosaurs in particular, which is what I work on, or maybe about natural history in general, about extinction or evolution or the very philosophy of science. You ask your questions and I'll do my best to answer them. And we've got other people here in the quarry too on the team with a tremendous amount of expertise. So, yeah, don't be shy with those questions. Again, we're digging up what we have every indication is a new species or even a new genus of iguanodont dinosaur. Think like iguanodon, but about 20 million years earlier in time. We're pretty excited about that. So, yeah, the bones are all disarticulated, so we've got them coming out in various parts of the quarry. And we'll probably, there's some live. So, anyway, glad you're here. And Lenina and Salamander, the pizza was glorious. Thank you so much for that. Really, really appreciate it. Holy cow, that was wonderful. And didn't have to do dishes last night either, which was great. But I ate altogether too much pizza, and then I drank like a gallon of water, because every time I eat pizza, I get really, really thirsty. So yeah, oh man. It was a good night. I haven't pigged out like that for a while, and you know what? It felt good. So thank you so much for your generosity, Lenina and Salamander. Thanks for sending that money so we could get ourselves some pizza. Ken was driving in last night to camp and picked it up on his way here, so worked out beautifully. I really appreciate that. Thank you for keeping us fed. Had some of it for lunch too, and it was wonderful. Yeah, and it was Domino's, yeah, Netmensch. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Lonely CPU Gaming says another dino day with Danny Anduza. Yes, indeed. I'm glad you're here. Here, let's get down here into the quarry. And also, Uncle Don just got back a few minutes ago after his what, like 5 days off, week off, something like that. It sounds like he had a really good time back in civilization, but it's also good to have him back here. Yeah. Good stuff.
Only 4 days, Danny.
Only 4 days? Shoot. We just missed you so much, Don. We thought it was a whole week. Yeah.
Feels like you were gone forever.
No micromanaging.
Well, you must have been driving like a, UPS truck on the way back, all the packages I had delivered to your place. I told Amazon, like, hey, please deliver everything on the same day in one box.
Yeah, I think
they did not. But Don also picked up some groceries and stuff, and some fossil casts that I've got for an upcoming project. So, pretty excited about that too.
And then the monkeys were here just going.
Can I get the bucket for you?
Sure.
All right. Can I step here?
I mean, I don't know if I deserve it. I just got here.
Well, actually, shoot. Can I do this with one hand? I can. We'll make it work. Rawr.
You can be my bucket buddy anytime.
Oh yeah. Oops, some of this detritus. Sorry about the camera angle. I've only got two hands here. I've got a bucket full of rocks. It's tripping over nails. There we go. I guess it was a rock and not a nail. That's good. Slightly reassuring.
Part of the work first. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. And everybody's excited to see you again, Don. Everybody in the chat. Hi, Uncle Don.
I know they're lying through their teeth, but...
What's your
Oh, I brought a new one for you.
new T-shirt today?
New, well,
Pork?
I've had a million Park
Oh,
City
Park
5K.
City, not Pork City.
Pork City. Yeah, well, there's a lot of government officials there, so probably it's Pork City. Pork City.
Nice. 2012.
Yeah,
All right, that's actually, believe it or not, Chad, that's one of his more recent
yeah,
shirts
one of my
here.
more recent shirts here.
2012. Did I say 2012? It's hot out. I'm sorry. Let me drink some water. Yeah. And anyway, good stuff. And rocks indeed, mother of cats, yeah. There are rocks aplenty out here. That's one thing we've got no shortage of.
Yeah,
no, all good.
All right.
I put it all there, so.
Let's see, I'm going to hang back for a minute because Ethan's going to do some shoveling and I'm going to be right in the line of fire. But, yeah, let me know if you got any questions, anybody. Now is the time. From 2012. I hope we still have paleontologists in 2012. Yeah. In the year 2525, if paleontology is still alive. And Latu, I did not see your earlier question. I'm sorry. Would you mind reposting it real quick? And someone was asking me about the current temperature. Let's take a look.
when I went to my tent, which is all zipped up, it was 124 in there.
Holy cow.
Okay.
124.
124.
We have a winner.
Well, that's because it was all sealed up.
Yeah. Should we have opened it for you?
No.
Okay.
No, and I actually left it sealed when I saw the clouds on the horizon.
Yeah.
I wonder about my medications.
They're all melted into one medication.
It's just a cure-all now.
And now it's a panacea.
So, Ethan, did you have a fulfilling trip?
I did. Actually. It wasn't like...
What's that in Celsius? Yeah, 107 degrees Celsius. You bet.
But he brought...
It's above boiling point.
You know?
Brought the one that kind of...
Yeah.
He was holding out on me a little bit, but I got the good present.
Anyway, good stuff.
For sure.
41.89 Celsius. Oh boy. Tasty.
Give that one a number even though it's not out.
It's not Death Valley, but still. Yeah, it's not. What's the stratigraphy in Death Valley? Is it all like Cenozoic stuff? Pleistocene? Anybody know?
There's definitely some Miocene there. Oh, Jim can't hear because he's got his thing.
Oh, right.
Jim would
Oh, Fisher's starting to get interested in that severe river stuff of yours.
Sorry, before you sit down,
Uh,
will you help me pull
And you live next to Death Valley. Very cool, Oscar Bar. In Life Valley. Yeah. And, oh, thank you, Lenina, for reposting that. Remember you mentioned 3D printing back at the workshop the other day? Did you see the guy who 3D printed a 1-to-1 scale T-Rex skeleton? I did not, no. I've got a 1-to-1 3D printed T-Rex skeleton back in my office. But it's a juvenile. Yeah. It's about 7 or 8 feet long. Yeah. Pretty good model. But yeah, I presume you're talking about an adult Tyrannosaurus skeleton. That's pretty cool. And I've got an adult Allosaurus skull 3D printed in my office too. It's good stuff. But yeah, I don't know, with anything that large, 3D printing, when you're talking about like a 40-foot animal, unless you've got a really large printer, yeah, it'd be like prohibitively time-consuming and expensive. 3D printing is usually better for smaller scale stuff. Anyhow.
And later on, you get these like solid plants.
Yenzoku says, Danny, do you think evolution of species on our planet has been influenced by outside intelligences? What do you mean by outside intelligences? First, in order to be able to posit that, you have to demonstrate that those exist. We don't have proof of that yet. So the most parsimonious explanation, and I guess my answer would be no. I don't think that's the case. But definitely willing to be persuaded if any evidence is presented. It stands up to scrutiny.
And it wouldn't just be editing the genetic code.
Yeah.
They'd be rewriting it.
Right, and so that would actually show up. You would have like wholesale differences in there rather than just like small tweaks over time, like you get through natural selection. Yeah. But yeah, the asteroid sure had an impact. I dig the pun there, Murph. Yeah. No, the course of evolution on Earth has definitely been influenced by extraterrestrial means in the form of asteroids or meteorites, maybe comets. And Jim has been presenting evidence that that may have happened at the end of the Jurassic as well. But, yeah. Nothing intelligent, though, as far as we can tell. Yeah. Now, Huggabus says, well, what do we know about dinosaur intelligence? Not a lot, honestly. We do have like proxies for trying to figure out how intelligent a critter may have been, but it's really wishy-washy. Shoot. Trying to quantify intelligence in the first place is tricky. But, yeah. We do know that some modern dinosaurs, birds, who are descended from dinosaurs during the Mesozoic, you know that some of them are pretty darn clever. Some of the cleverest animals around. But were their theropod dinosaur ancestors anywhere close to that same level? We don't know. Yeah. They certainly had smaller brains relative to their body size, but birds are also weird in the sense that they have ultra lightweight bodies. And flight is a very... I think it requires a good deal of processing power, so you would need a large brain just kind of for that, maybe? You know. Just bouncing these ideas off myself as we go. But yeah. So I don't know, birds are weird like that. They've got kind of abnormally large brains. Maybe flight is a reason for that. Anywho, yeah. But brain size in birds doesn't necessarily seem to correlate to level of intelligence, however you quantify that.
Hey, Ethan.
Yeah.
Did you show Don
So anyway,
possible
it's complicated.
case?
It's been Jim's owner.
Oh, it's already chopped?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Anakin Gabriel says, smart enough to survive for so long. I would say, yeah, dinosaurs were remarkably successful critters. Ruled the Earth for over 170 million years. They were plenty smart enough to survive and thrive. Then it was just like a freak occurrence that they were wiped out. They're not even wiped out completely. We still have birds today. But yeah, that asteroid really put a fly in the ointment. Anywho. And Barley Popper says, if you get to Hanksville, Utah, keep your eyes on some of the oldest houses' front yards. I grew up there. Lots of dinosaur bones were used for decorations. Yes, indeed. I've been through Hanksville a few times. Last summer we drove through there. And
probably the biggest single Jurassic site in North America is right by Hanksville.
Yeah.
Hanksville, Burpee.
Really, really cool place. Who's working there now? Is it still the Burpee Museum?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Chatter...
The real Jurassic National Monument.
I know, yeah.
Oh, man.
Chatter was talking about how a bunch of the houses there in that town have got dinosaur bone as like lawn ornaments and front yard decorations.
No,
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. I mean, this site, the BLM said, had been, vandalized that site for decades.
Uh-huh.
And they went in and said, biggest site ever.
Jeez. Oh, yeah.
Whittled on and whittled on from the outside.
And any new bones found that we can see? Yeah, Lockmax, I think we've got some at the other end of the quarry. Let me go over there in a minute. Fisher's over here now, too?
Temporarily.
Wow.
Ethan just said help them.
Help them.
He's mapping. There was help that was
Nice.
needed.
Yeah, so we got a rib and mystery bone over there, too, looks like. Well. Excellent. Anything not jacketed yet? Anything exposed to show the camera?
Yeah, so we have this. That's what Maddie found
Uh-huh.
a couple days ago.
Let me step carefully right here. Thanks, Cam.
Don't know what it is. Yeah, that large kind of circle
Uh-huh.
and stuff. And stuff that Jeff, I think it was Jeff, you found that stuff? Yeah, earlier that time, Jeff recently found a theropod tooth over here.
Uh-huh.
Possibly part of a jaw.
Oh.
Should be okay.
Do we have the tooth visible?
I believe it is right.
Oh, nice.
there.
Okay.
I've been not messing around up there. So
Yeah. This little tooth right there.
I'm going to have to check that out in a second.
Yeah.
And then,
Not the most distinctive looking tooth, but a tooth nonetheless. Important stuff. Yeah.
over here,
Uh-huh.
we've got some random chunks of bone. And then Ethan was saying, you can kind of see the, not spikes, but the protrusions on one of these spines, or vertebrae. Vertebrae there, possible vertebrae here, and the vertebrae there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get this one out right now.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Cam hammering in data spike right there for our nails in the quarry. And Lenina says hi, Cam. Hey. Yeah, Lenina, thank you again for the pizza money.
and salamander.
And salamander, yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It's keeping us fed out here. We appreciate that very much. Good stuff. I'll get back over there and I'll get back to work in my spot.
Push that down and it will just push south. When it's working right, when you push that button down, it should go shh.
Let's see. I think I'll set this up over here.
Glad it's working again.
It's kind of nice to just be out there checking the burgers every day.
Thanks, Fisher. Leave that lid off for me.
Yes. You recording something?
Oh, actually, I think I'll save that for now. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm working over here, kind of cutting down into the possible bone layer here.
Are you guys using this toilet paper right now?
Go for it.
Bring it back in a minute.
Actually, Ethan might be. Yeah.
I told him to take it.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, though.
Yeah. And Lockmax says this channel is by far the best find for me this year. Community is great, especially the helpful mods. The mod's great. Yeah. Yeah. And Hakabas says in Germany, we are a little bit proud of our little bird dino, Archaeopteryx. What do you know about that critter? Never heard of it. Kidding. Archaeopteryx is like one of the best known, well, most famous, I'll say. Best known kind of implies there's a ton of specimens. I think there's 13 for Archaeopteryx.
That's, I mean, that's
But,
that's more medium now, but it should still be great.
Yeah. It's definitely a perennial favorite,
You're
Archaeopteryx.
definitely low in glue.
What was that?
Oh, getting low in glue.
Okay, I can go check. I'll go check shortly.
I can pin that a little bit.
They kind of make me so
Not that I've used a ton of it.
Brush. Whisk broom. And I'll grab a bucket for me, too.
I just don't think there's
I know, right?
I lost that. With my dog bowl for my,
It's too hot for the puppies out here today, though.
Like when some of these buckets get really, really hot, they just get super flexible. And it's easier to get the plaster out of them. One fit is the way to melting point. Or I don't know. 4 fits is the way to melting point. Got a scoop, brushes, got tools. Yeah.
Pretty thick, isn't it? Very.
SW Scott says, what are you digging today? Same thing we've been digging for the past 18 days now. New species of iguanodont dinosaur.
Burn off is because your phone wasn't stable enough to do that.
okay.
Since it wasn't stable enough to do that, you burn off and then you'll be doing something.
Though there are tantalizing pieces that might belong to other critters as well. There's something that we thought was maybe the top of a vertebra earlier.
Come on. Is that plant or bone?
And Ethan took a look at it and thinks it might be part of a brain case now, which is pretty exciting. And if that's the case, it might be from a theropod dinosaur. Didn't really look particularly iguanodontian, so it could be a piece of back of a skull of a meat-eating dinosaur. We get all kinds of interesting bits and pieces here in this quarry. It's mostly iguanodont, but there's other stuff hiding in here too.
While in this rack. Rip it.
Mesozoic turtles and dinosaurs and everything. I'm looking hard.
And I probably might have another little piece that slips in. Doesn't seem too much.
My first things down here, there was these big femur bones that I found. They ended up being bison bones.
And let's see. We got a raid. 212 raiders from G.N. Marley. Well, hello, hello. Let me go walk you around a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to get carbon dated at the museum.
Bless you. Welcome, welcome everybody to Paleontologizing. G.N. Marley, I hope you had a wonderful stream. It's getting better, improving. Okay. We should be good now, I think. Good, okay. Yeah, that's the Starlink cutting out. So, we're getting satellite internet right now. But occasionally, it's has a bit of a hiccup. It's been doing that more and more lately, for whatever reason. But, yeah. That's the reason I can broadcast to you from out here in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, G.N. Marley, it is great to have you here. How did your stream go? And welcome, Raiders. It's wonderful to have you here out in eastern Utah. I don't know how much of that you missed earlier because of that internet hiccup. We're out here in the beautiful, very dry, very hot desert of eastern Utah, kind of near the town of Moab. And we're digging up dinosaurs. In fact, a brand new species of dinosaur, maybe even a new genus of dinosaur out here. An iguanodont from the earliest Cretaceous period, the beginning, very bottom of the Cedar Mountain Formation. Yeah. And G.N. Marley says, you use Starlink as well? Very cool. Well, I hope it went well. I hope you've been having fewer hiccups than I have. But, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So, for anybody who's here for the very first time, let me introduce myself real quick. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist. And I'm here on Twitch trying to do some good old-fashioned science outreach, you know? We can't take too many visitors to our site here. Not only is it way out in the middle of nowhere, not only is it 107 degrees, not only do we have limited space, but, shoot, this location should be kept kind of under our hats a little bit. We don't want to get looters or smugglers out here trying to steal our fossils. So this is the best way that I know how to bring people direct to the site via live stream. So if you've got any questions or anything, don't be shy. As a dinosaur paleontologist, dinosaurs are what I study, what I dig up, what I publish on in the scientific literature, and nowadays what I talk about on Twitch between 5 and 7 days a week, depending on whether I'm in the field or back in my office. So if you've got questions, don't be shy. Holy cow, that's what this is all about. That's the magic of Twitch, that live interactivity. And Murph, thank you for gifting GN Marley. Really appreciate that. Yeah. And Hobby Farm says, I went to the Natural History Museum in Salt Lake City last year. Majorly cool? Absolutely. That's where these fossils are headed. So I'm working with the Utah Geological Survey, which is a state agency studying the geology and the geohazards and doing mapping and also studying the fossils here in Utah. And as a state agency, the Utah Geological Survey is tasked with public education, with protection of resources, and collecting fossils the proper way. So all of these fossils here are going to end up in a federal public repository at the museum in Salt Lake, NHMU, the Natural History Museum of Utah. So hopefully within a few years, you'll be able to see this critter on display there. It is, like I said, most likely a new species of iguanodont, if not a new genus. So brand new dinosaur we've got here, and we've got so many bones of this animal from multiple individuals. Different age groups, different sizes, so we're going to have a pretty decent sense for, how this animal can vary due to, level of maturity and size and, individual variation as well. We're developing an excellent sample size here, which is why we're so keen on excavating as many bones as we can. The more, specimens we can collect of this animal, the more fossils that we can find and study, the more we can learn about this critter. So it's important stuff. Yeah. And let's see. New dinos indeed, Miss Yvette. Yeah. Yeah, here, I can barely see the screen. It's so bright out. Nerduino says, do you have any sense of why so many died in this one spot? I mean, it doesn't seem like it was an all-at-once kind of a thing. This is probably, attritional, so we doubt that this is a herd of animals that all died simultaneously. This is probably, this part of the floodplain out here, this kind of swampy area. Bones of this critter would just get kind of washed in after seasonal floods or that kind of thing. Yeah. Over millennia, you can get a lot of bones accumulating. So that's probably what's going on here. We actually might go talk to Jim about the particular taphonomy of this site. Yeah. And Nerduino says, I see, thanks. You bet. Yeah. The cool thing is, right above the horizon that we're digging in, there was another dinosaur, new one, discovered, from this same spot, called Mierosaurus. Mierasaurus. Mierosaurus. And that one, we can tell how it died, because it got stuck in the mud. All of its limbs were just going straight down into the mud. And, it's a big long-necked plant-eating dinosaur. So that was really cool and exciting. That was from just outside of the shade tarp over there, on the far side. And, when they were excavating this, they went underneath just a little bit, and, as Jim was describing yesterday, they started finding ribs of a different animal. So underneath that horizon, you had a bunch of iguanodonts. Their bones preserved there, too. And some of them seem to be kind of crushed. It could have been that a sauropod stomping around in the mud actually crushed some of these bones. Who knows how long they'd been there before. But yeah, it's interesting stuff. And anywho, yeah. And this area wasn't that far from the ocean during that time, right? No, it was actually really far from the ocean. This is before the time when you had a big seaway encroaching in the middle of North America. So the ocean would have been about as far from this spot 140 million years ago as it is today. So this is pretty far inland here. I'll show you. Yeah. There we go. Find that visual aid for you. There we are. Yeah. So this is a rough approximation of what this what North America would have looked like around this time. And so we are right there, basically, in eastern Utah, so pretty far from the coast. I guess not quite as far as today, because the west coast of California, as we know it today, was underwater back then. But yeah, still pretty far inland. You're probably thinking of later on in the Cretaceous period. About 50 million years later, you had this, the Western Interior Seaway, kind of encroaching, invading the continent like that. And it expanded and contracted, it advanced and retreated many, many times. But the rocks that we're digging up here, fossils we're digging up here from a much earlier time, 140 million years ago. North America looked more or less like this. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. And thank you, Mikey Lex, for the 40 months of support. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Anyway, good stuff. Yeah. Anyhow, let me put the camera back down and drink some water.
Great. And then Fisher, you want to handle his jacket too when you're done?
Oh, they're doing some jacketing over here. Let's go take a look at that.
Oh, that's that one that's size.
Alright. So they're making a protective plaster and burlap cocoon around this. We call a field jacket. In order to help not just protect it for transport, but also flip it without everything falling out. You know, this is a key part of the excavation process. A lot of people kind of have the misperception, like jacketing is something we do after the bones are out of the ground, and it's not. This is how we dig them up.
I think we're about good here.
So you're making sure that everything is, kind of socked in right there. Nothing is going to crumble, nothing is going to fall apart. And then you flip it over, and you carve some of the rock from the other side, and then you can fully cocoon it. Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fisher.
Cool. Should I get up for a few minutes and my spot's gone? But that bone that I was telling you about earlier, chat, the one that might turn out to be part of a brain case. Somebody was asking, what is a brain case? It's pretty self-explanatory. It's the bony case that encases the brain. Brain case. So like with us, our brain case takes up most of our skull. It's not like that for most animals. We're freakishly weird by animal standards that we've got such a ridiculously, goofily large brain. But inside that little gypsona cap there is something that could potentially be a brain case, which would be really important. If it turns out to be a theropod brain case, that's even more important, potentially. Because we haven't really found a lot of theropod material from this site so far, so anyway, that's why we got that capped. Yeah. And Indo says, I wonder if North America will have an interior sea again in the distant future. It kind of does already. Think about Baja California and the kind of the Gulf of California in there. So there's that little prong that sticks off of the west side of Mexico. That is the Sea of Cortez, I believe it's called. That's kind of the start of an inland sea. And you get this big rifting that's occurring like throughout the middle of the Great Basin.
I've got some. I'm done with it.
So that's going to continue to open up, and that side of North America is just going to kind of unzip like that over the next, I don't know, 30 million years, something like that. Yeah, as this rifting continues. Fisher, am I in your way over here if I dig here?
No, not really.
Okay.
I'm going to be working on this stuff over here, and then maybe these guys.
Okay, cool.
This area's...
So I can continue to cut this down.
Yeah.
Good. I'm trying to stay out of Ethan's way over there.
this down, that'd be helpful. For me.
Right there?
Yeah.
I can do that. Oh, yeah.
I've got this thing here that's probably going to have to come out.
Nice.
The trench over there. So.
Cool. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah. And Hakaba says that sea is growing, the Sea of Cortez. I think it will continue to grow as North America kind of rifts apart right there.
The Sea of Cortez really is a rifting.
Yeah.
Yeah, pull apart versus, Western Interior.
Yeah. Yeah, it's...
Very different.
So when we're talking about the Western Interior Seaway, that's like sea level rise during the Cretaceous. But, yeah.
Now, when the sea rises to St. Louis, When Antarctica melts, it's got to be more like an interior seaway.
Gotcha. Shoot, so just like the whole Mississippi Delta like that'll get inundated.
Just flood all the way up St. Louis.
Shoot. Yeah. Well. Any real estate speculators in the chat? Maybe get out of the St. Louis area. Yeah. No, Nerduino says, so awesome to be able to see this live on Twitch. Thanks, Nerduino. I appreciate that. By the way, if anybody's not yet following Nerduino, you're missing out. Former NASA scientist, current science communicator on Twitch. He was on the Scientists on Twitch panel with me last year at TwitchCon, and that was a ton of fun. Yeah. Anyway, and Flask says, this is fascinating. Thank you. Thank you, Flask. Appreciate you. It's good to have you here. There, I'm going to set the camera down and do some digging here. Drink some water.
Thanks for helping fish.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm bouncing around so much today, I gotta like extra
Sure.
get some thing out.
Yeah. And you bet, Nerduino. No, you absolutely deserve a shout out. Glad you're here.
Nerdy bananas in the chat?
What's that?
Nerdy bananas in the chat?
Nerduino.
Nerdy.
He's a former NASA scientist, friend of mine.
Sweet.
On Twitch.
Heck yeah.
Got to meet him at TwitchCon last year. He's super cool.
Oh, dope.
He's on the scientist panel with me.
John, this is
All right. Let's clear off Fisher's shelf here. Let's see.
The nice thing about renting is like, if the landlord cares about the yard, they just kind of do it for you. It's like having your own gardener. And like, who expects the renter to do all that?
We got more ice?
Yeah, John got some mad ice.
Ooh, nice.
I was thinking Ed would play against them too.
4. Oh, where'd you get that, Fisher?
That is from Jeff's cooler.
Nice.
His favorite.
Oh, Squirt?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I love squirts.
grapefruit.
Yeah.
Grapefruit soda.
Did you expose the...
Yeah.
And Harry Viking says, digging the stream. Oh, I'm glad. Welcome. It's good to have you here.
Unintended, huh?
Flask says, sophisticated field instrument there, the straw hand broom. Oh yeah. Only the finest and most technical of scientific equipment is used here. Here's one that is a veteran of several different digs. Still works though. Trek Nerd says, very satisfying watching the giant flat slabs being lifted away. Good, I'm glad. It's nice when we can make progress like that. But sometimes if a slab is a little too big, you want to break it up first, make sure that nothing important is inside. Find yourself some teeth or cool plant structure or something. Zalok. Oh, this is Mudstone here. An ancient bog, swamp, wetland, marsh, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure there are distinct differences between those terms in modern environments, but this is like before flowering plants even evolved, so I don't think you could designate something a marsh versus a wetland versus a whatever based on the kind of...
Boggy Fern Fan.
A Boggy Fern Fan. I like that.
Oh, the old Boggy Fern Fan. The old Boggy Fern Fan. My mother was born in 78 in the old fen. Like children we'd sing in the Boggy Fern Fan. How I wish I was in Boggy Fern Fan now.
Oh, don't we?
178 degrees. How I wish it was a foggy fern pen. With the temperature crawl up on my leg. You drinking enough water?
We've got Ethan on vocals here.
Need more fog. Fog down.
Fog does sound really good right now.
Celtic hour.
Oh yeah.
That's right, we've got John Morning tomorrow morning. Oh yeah. There's a local radio station that does all kinds of Jamaican music, reggae. I don't know, but I guess most of it's not actually Jamaican in terms of its nationality. But like reggae from different countries. A lot of it's probably from the US. But yeah. Oh, it's always a good time. What radio station is that again?
KZMU.
KZMU.
Anybody can listen to it.
Yeah.
Internet connection. I assume everybody on the stream does.
I'd like to think they've got internet connection. They're not like watching through a crystal ball or, you know, chicken entrails or something. Well, that would explain some of the misspellings in chat, I suppose. Oh, and Dave Nevius had a great question that I missed. Thank you, Claire Bear, for reposting it. Any of the tools that we have here, are any of them specialized enough to not get at a hardware store? Rock hammers? I've seen rock hammers at hardware stores before, but they're not common.
You can get the spy ones more from the actual geology hammers.
Yeah, like a masonry hammer kind of deal, yeah.
We usually special order the old hickories.
Oh, yeah?
You can get all of it at hardware stores that are essentially the same, just smaller handle surface.
I think the most specialized piece of equipment in the quarry right now is probably the stream encoder I've got right here. These are, yeah.
That and Fisher.
Yeah, of course.
I'm glad someone else was thinking it.
Yeah, you're special, Fisher.
And special equipment in the quarry.
Yeah. And Mom Boss Lady says, is that rock or just compacted sand that can be broken down? Well, a lot of rock is compacted sand. Sandstones, for instance, are compacted sand. The only kinds of rocks that we find dinosaur fossils in are what we call sedimentary rocks. So those are rocks that are, you know, comprised of ancient sediments. They're what?
Made of other rocks.
Yeah, yeah. So like, you know about the rock cycle, right? Rocks in the sun, they evaporate up into the sky and then they rain down as molten rock. I'm kidding.
Hydrological.
No, they
No,
get
that's the Krebs cycle.
they get legumes to take them out.
Phosphorylation.
But no, so this is mudstone here, which is just hardened mud from 140 million years ago, and you can see little bits of organic-y stuff in there. It's all kinds of little organismal bits from ancient plants and buggos and whatever else was in here. None of that stuff is like identifiable, so it's not worth collecting, but occasionally you get bits of plant that are like, oh, we should collect this. Somebody might be able to study that and get something useful out of it.
You could show it to Ethan and waste his time.
There you go. That's a good use for it.
Yay.
Ontogeny.
Big old piece. Oh, Dave Nevius says, I'm mad that Eurypterids had to die. They were the coolest of all arachnids, and if they were alive today, people would keep them in their aquaria. Yeah? Pretty cool critters. There was a paper that just came out saying that Eurypterids are actually crustaceans, though, which is interesting.
It seems doubtful.
Yeah.
I know about Eurypterids, but I'm not an expert.
Let me see if I can find that real quick.
Almost by implication, that would mean scorpions are too,
Yeah.
which I have a hard time believing.
New research suggests that early species of the scorpion-like carcinosomatid Eurypterids with spiny limbs fed on trilobites. Later species preferred armored fishes. Carcinosomatoids evolved into scorpions, but giant 400 million-year-old scorpions like Praecturus and Brontoscorpio, as featured in Walking with Monsters TV series, were probably crustaceans, according to this new paper.
Okay, well, I don't think Brontoscorpio is a Eurypterid.
Interesting. Oh shoot, I'll read that when I've got more time. But yeah. And High Potential, hey, I heard you were out in Utah. High Potential says, I just got back from the field in Utah, Marysville. Marysvale? As we were interested in the remains of uranium mines. Any cool dinosaurs I should look for next time? Not unless you got a permit. But there's a lot of... Well, this is uranium country out here, too. Like near the town of Cisco. The Yellow Cat mining area, which is not too far away. Yeah. A lot of that stuff is Jurassic in age, so a little bit earlier than the rocks that we're digging in here. But yeah, this is very much like uranium country out here as well. But anyway, I hope you had a good time out there. It's fascinating stuff. The whole like uranium boom during the Cold War. But man, there are a lot of cool dinosaurs in Utah.
Like the meadowlark.
Like the what? The meadowlark, yeah. The state dinosaur, oh, state bird. The state extant
Hey,
dinosaur.
why don't you do your protein?
No, it's not. It's a California gull. I'm thinking of Wyoming. Yeah.
Oh, you can help me with the spoils bucket.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, man, my back. On my laps, not my back.
Protein spoils.
Thought something smelled chocolatey.
Yeah, a little milkshake.
Yeah.
And then you,
Sounds like a military jet.
I guess Ken's SOS is finally paying off.
my eagle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Must have been low priority.
Gonna get napalmed. Shoot, that thing was fast, whatever it was. Yeah. And let's see. And Dave Nevius says that would imply that chelicerates are an offshoot from crustaceans. I don't really know. Here, I'll put a link to that paper in the chat so you can read it for yourself, or the press release for the paper rather.
From what I've seen, the chelicerates are much earlier off.
You know, it was recently published that dinosaurs were too big to walk on land.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Recently?
Yeah, right.
Was this by a
Right,
physicist? Yeah. Also, bumblebees cannot fly, and dolphins can't swim. physicists say that bumblebees shouldn't be allowed to fly. Yeah, that's why they're physicists.
Jerry Seinfeld also said that. In a great movie.
Did he?
I care even less about Jerry Seinfeld than I do about physicists. He's only ever been funny when he had, what's his name as a writer.
And so Alex says, are you a rock hound too, Danny? We prefer the term geologists, Lala. It's or mainly just fossils. No, I don't really go out and collect things just for jollies. Collecting scientific specimens out here for science. Not that there's anything wrong with, just collecting stuff for jollies. Could be really cool, but that's not what I do.
He lives in the Bay Area. He doesn't have enough room to be rock hound.
There are plenty of cool sedimentary rocks in the Bay Area.
No, enough room in your house.
Oh. Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Seems like generationally there are a lot less rock hounds too. Like it's kind of a
Yeah.
thing that's going away.
Yeah, all those kids with their iPads and their... Yeah.
Coin collection.
But, yeah. And DM says you don't do science for jollies?
What was it?
I mean,
Oh,
I don't know. It's a deep, irrepressible passion, the same thing as jollies.
Who's got the TP?
Oh, you gotta go?
Thanks, Jim.
Nice.
Okay. We have 2 things of TP if you want to go.
Sweet.
Ethan's got a fossil to wrap over there.
Spines are cool. They're different than like the Tumskaya that I find over by my house. The really cool one that I found.
Some gypsonas.
I got some.
It's the
And, Texas Cryptid, thank you for bringing your raiders here. Welcome to Paleontologizing, Texas Cryptid. How did your stream go? Hope it was real good. Oh boy, that's a big one. Doing some food and drink. That must have been interesting. Very cool. Yeah.
Jim, there's some jerky there too, if you want.
Hmm?
There's some jerky by the cooler too, if you want.
I can't.
Oh, sorry, there's some jerky.
Oh.
If you want some jerky.
Spec it out.
It is hard to hear with this thing on.
Yeah.
But,
What?
yeah. But when it's this hot, it feels good.
Let's see. Ogtober food. Spooky. That's interesting, Texas Cryptid. I've never heard of that before. Ogtober for August. I like it. That was a good time. That's pretty neat. That is pretty neat. And Zlalek wants to know what the first fossil I ever found personally was. Was it super exciting? Oh, yeah?
Bright blue color.
Oh, yeah. Like a big ichneumonid wasp, I think. Neat. The thing about those is they don't stay still long enough to, like, get them on camera.
You're hunting.
No. I'm loving all this disturbed ground here. The first fossil I ever personally found, I think I was about 10 years old. Back in the East Bay, San Francisco Bay Area. And I was on a little hike, and they're in the middle of the path. just in the sandstone, were these beautiful little bivalves. Little clam fossils. Probably Pliocene in age. Which would make them... what, like...
Between 5 and, like, 1.5 billion years old.
Yeah. I think they're probably from the, ooh, what's it called? I'm trying to remember the name of the geological formation. Might be the Santa Cruz Formation? I don't think that's right. Anyway, I was pretty stoked about that as a 10-year-old. First fossils I ever found. And they were like maybe a mile from my house. It was pretty neat. Yeah. I think I've still got those in my dad's garage somewhere.
About first vertebrate fossil.
First vertebrate fossil. That probably would have been out in the Hell Creek. Probably like a croc skewed or a champsosaur vert or something like that. That I ever actually personally found. Yeah. But at that point I was already on a dinosaur dig and, you know, spent all day digging up Triceratops. So like finding something like that's cool, but it's not as interesting as this giant horned dinosaur that we were excavating. And I didn't really do any prospecting that first summer. It was just all excavation. Digging up the postcrania of big Triceratops at the Yoshi's Trike site. And to this day, that Triceratops has got the longest brow horns of any Triceratops ever found. And that was like my first ever dinosaur dig. It was pretty cool. What about you, Fisher? What's your first vertebrate fossil?
I found shark teeth at the Calvert Cliffs.
Nice.
When I was doing a volunteering to do ecological field work in Maryland. I think the shark teeth was the first things I found, but I also found ray teeth and a little piece of cetacean bone. One
nice. I was going to say, what was your first bony vertebrate fossil? Non-elasmobranch, non-chondrichthyan. And I guess it would be the whale bits. That's cool. Yeah. And Zlalek says, do you think that influenced you to become a paleontologist, like finding that in the first place? I was already well on my way. I was already a terminal case, you know? Sure, it didn't hurt, but, yeah. I'd already had my mind made up. I was going to be a fossil scientist.
Got some acetone over here because that's
oh yeah,
really thick.
Real thick.
Right. I made some. I did 1/4 of that and then filled the rest with acetone.
We should have some glue bottles around here you could fill up.
Yeah, I got one here, but it might be like just glued shut.
There's some pliers here. That's the easy part. The next one.
And Momboss Lady says, well, Momboss Lady, dinosaurs and humans did not coexist, at least not like Mesozoic dinosaurs. Birds are the only dinosaurs that have ever coexisted with people. The dinosaurs that you're thinking of, you know, everything from Triceratops to Allosaurus and everything in between, all those guys, the very last dinosaurs that are not birds died out 66 million years ago. So that's like about 65 million years before the first people. First modern humans, anyway. If you go back a few more million years... Sorry, I'm just being confusing here with this. But yeah, there are tens of millions of years separating dinosaurs and humans.
1 quarter
But
this
there are
and
plenty of modern dinosaurs, birds, that people do interact with, certainly. Yeah. Oh, and Chaos says my 4-year-old daughter would like to know how big this new dinosaur will be.
Big.
That is a great question. Yeah, pretty large. Ethan was showing me yesterday the biggest femur we have from this particular critter is
Huge.
how big? Say like a meter?
How big is the biggest femur we have? There's one that's just ridiculous in length. There's one that with the cross sections of this.
Shoot. So just the thigh bone, this bone here, the biggest one of these dinosaurs that we have from this quarry, is over 3 feet long. And shoot, that might mean this animal was about, I don't know, close to 30 feet long? You know? Maybe just shy of 10 meters? So like, as big as a, I don't know, bigger than a big pickup truck? Maybe as big as a smallish bus? I don't know. Big animal. Yeah. But we've got a bunch of different individuals, a bunch of different iguanodont dinosaurs from the same species, we think, from this quarry. Some of them are small, some of them are big, some of them were young, some of them were old. And that's really exciting that we've got so many different examples of this critter. It's going to be really useful for understanding what this dinosaur is related to, how it may have lived. You know, it can answer a lot of questions about what it was like, given that we've got a big sample size here. Great question, Chaos and daughter. Thanks for asking. Yeah. And Wyvern Stings is Fisher mixing up chemicals? Yeah, he's just making a little drink for himself there. Yeah, no, he's mixing some glue, polyvinyl acetate glue, to put on these fossils to keep them from falling apart. So it's a mixture of acetone and then kind of a plastic compound. The actual glue itself, you dissolve that in acetone, and it just absorbs right down into the bone, and the acetone part evaporates away, leaves the plastic inside, and it consolidates everything, keeps it from falling apart.
Am I good to walk? Am I good to walk through that way?
Not really.
Oh, there's that.
Yeah, it might just be
Step
to go
here.
Maybe where the camera is, kind of.
I'll just go around. Oh, water.
Yeah. And Chaos says, thank you for answering. She's beaming. Yeah, shoot, if you, Chaos and daughter, well, I guess, daughter, I don't know your name, but you sound pretty clever. Do you think you might be interested in becoming a paleontologist? Digging up dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures? Because if you are, I gotta say, it's a pretty cool thing to do. You know, it might be really hot out today, and we might all be thinking about ice cream right now. Sorry, I shouldn't mention ice cream when it's this hot out, but, you know.
How dare you?
But, I don't know, if it's something you enjoy, it's a lot of fun, you know? This isn't for everybody, but if you think you would enjoy this, then, let's see, what's some advice that I can give you? Learn as much as you can. Always stay curious about everything. You know, look at as many books as you can. Just try and learn. And, yeah. And one day you might be out here digging up dinosaurs too. When I was 4 years old, I knew I wanted to be a paleontologist. And I dreamed of doing stuff like this someday, and now here I am. So, it's definitely possible. And Aaliyah loves dinosaurs, 100%. But yeah, not sure she would like to dig up the bones. That's fair. And that's an important point too. You don't have to do field work to be a paleontologist necessarily. There are paleontologists, scientists who study fossils, who stay in the laboratory most of the time. There are some paleontologists who who'd never really go out into the field. I think it's important to do every once in a while, but it's not necessarily a requirement. And as we get different kinds of people moving into this science, maybe people who have disabilities, maybe they can't necessarily do field work like this, doesn't mean they can't do fossil science. They still absolutely can. This field work is important, but there's lots of other ways to be a paleontologist too. So I want to make that clear.
You got your fauna and your limbs.
Yeah, those are over there.
Too.
Yeah. It's all gotta
And RDA says, found out today they had a tyrannosaur tooth in Laurel Park. Really?
go. How do we get these out instead of...
That's like Cloverleaf equivalent, right?
Super sure.
Depends on how many.
Are you sure it's a tyrannosaur and not just another big meat-eating dinosaur?
Reasonably spread.
Like a carcharodontosaur or something? I'd be a little surprised if it's a tyrannosaur.
It's a harder time separating stuff.
But I don't know. I'm not there. You might have better information than I do right now. Yeah. Somebody was asking, what kind of bone is Fisher working on there? It looks big and interesting.
I think it's probably a vertebra,
Nice.
based on how this is oriented. This looks like a transverse process. I got another one earlier this season that was very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably the neural spine here.
Oh,
if I had to
beautiful. Yeah, that does remind me of the other ones.
guess. Although it looks like there's maybe a break here. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could also just be like underneath the rock.
Cool. That's exciting. So this is the layer that we expect to find stuff in. Got that there too. Some of that stuff. So I'm going to keep working down through here to get down to those layers, and hopefully we find some more bones there.
How's it going?
That's funny, Mom Boss Lady. Yeah. All right. Move some of this rock and get down to that one layer. Sound you're hearing is Dawn over there sharpening a tool. Before I get a bunch of questions about that. But it's important to... Actually, this one could use some sharpening too. I might go do that. Yeah. Here.
Do you have that thick glue over there?
I do.
had very mixed reviews on the sound of that grinder. Worst sound of the year. Niche sound of the year. Yeah. Sounds like a carbide pencil sharpener. So it's I don't know. It's almost like a whetstone or something, but it rotates when you turn a crank. And then you put this up against it. And if you put it at the right angle, you can sharpen it. So yeah, it's nice and sharp. Makes it a little bit easier to work with. Taking down this shelf here. Yeah. Dave W says, the best paleontology jobs ever are when they find major fossils while digging up downtown parking lots. Hotels and baristas only a block away from the dig. That's not everybody's idea.
Heat Island. That's my rebuttal to that.
Yeah, and smog. But, yeah, that being said, you know, it's got its perks, and I very well might be doing some work like that in California this fall and then into the foreseeable future. We'll see. It's actually pretty exciting. It is nice to, like, after a day of field work, be able to go home and sleep in your own bed. But it's also really nice just to be able to go back to your tent in camp. Get into your sleeping bag. So
cuddle up with Fisher and Ethan.
yeah, there you go. To our big shared sleeping bag. We all look like the sleepy time tea bear with our little nighttime caps, floppy bedroom hats.
Uncle Don took us in.
You read us a story, Uncle Don?
You read us a paper, Uncle Don?
Okay, and you gotta go to sleep.
Can we hear the rebuttal too?
Supplementary material will be tomorrow night.
Can we see the figures again?
No, go to sleep, you little.
Oh, I love this journal. And Bearman66 says, my dream job, wanted to be a paleontologist when I was 8 years old. That's exactly how old we are. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think most of us have wanted to be paleontologists since maybe before we were 8 years old. Yeah. But, anyway. Don, when did you realize you wanted to be a paleontologist? Around what age?
Right?
I haven't decided yet.
Yeah? Okay.
Nice.
So Don's already in, he's almost in his 40s now, I think. He's still deciding.
No, I was in college is when I settled on
Really?
a late bloomer.
For some of us, it's really early, and for some of us, it's, well into our academic careers that we decide we want to pursue fossil science. Jim over there knew he wanted to be a paleontologist since he was like 5. Right, Jim?
Yep, 1959.
1959, wow.
Marks.
3 known dinosaurs.
Boy dinosaur, vacuum pack.
Nice.
Ooh, the first set.
Yeah. Do you have one of those, Jim? Nowadays?
I have one still.
Do you have a modern reproduction or the originals or anything like that?
I have a few.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But, back when I was a little kid, those were the kind of things that you bring around the neighborhood and you end up like, where'd they go?
Yeah.
Other little kids running off with them.
Yep. Wonder if you can get modern reproductions of those. The Marx, M-A-R-X, plastic dinosaurs from the 50s. Anybody in chat happen to know?
Jim lived in a rough part of Marshfield, too.
That was Weymouth.
Cretaceous Manifesto.
South Shore. 12 minutes to Boston, Southie. I moved to Marshfield High School. After a certain encounter I had with the law. They decided to get me away from there. I actually lived with my brother and sister for about a year and a half before my folks finally got down there. That was not
Just some plant.
the nicest neighborhood. Started out nice, leave it to be a neighborhood, but
And all the trappers came in and no more beavers. Tale as old as time. Oh, an interesting Charlie's Dragon.
there.
Original Marx dinosaur figure sets on sale on eBay for 15 to 20 bucks. Hmm.
Well, these are two completely empty. Give them rattle.
Yeah, let me go get the glue bottle. The big jug.
I wonder if that would be a good gift for Jim. That or anything Gastonia related.
Picture of the funnel
And DC Chemic says, how was the pizza from last night? It was splendid. So good that I almost exploded eating too much too fast and then drinking like a gallon of water afterward. This pizza makes me really thirsty. But it was really, really good. Thank you again, Salamander and Lenina, for sending us the funds for that. Much appreciated. Holy cow. Yeah. And field pizza, probably the tastiest pizza. I would agree, Cast the Dreamer. Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. Anytime there's like several boxes of pizza that show up in like a social situation, it's like I'm an undergrad again and just go into like survival mode. It's like I gotta eat as much of this as I can right this instant. I've not developed past that scarcity mindset yet when it comes to pizza in a social environment. Just like gotta consume all the calories right now. I don't know when the next time I'm gonna get to eat will be. Yeah. This is berries and roots until next week, so I better eat up now.
We used to get pizza in the field in Egypt occasionally. We would drive it in from Cairo.
Really? Wow.
And then it was funny because our cook hated that because he didn't, he wanted, he didn't have anything to do that day, so he got really bored.
Oh, gotcha.
But then the side dish he made when we got pizza was French fries. As if we didn't have enough grease.
There you go.
Like, dude, can you make a salad or something?
Oh yeah, grease maxing.
Pizza Hut in Cairo.
How is Egyptian pizza?
It was good. There was a Pizza Hut. So
Oh, okay. It's not pyramid shaped or anything.
Regular Pizza Hut pizza.
It's missing the very tip.
Just the bottom layer. Of
Yeah.
pyramid.
That's a Sphinx joke.
Here you go, Jim.
Oh, Sphinx joke. Gotcha.
Here you go, Jim. Here are your fins. They should be on the inside, but careful in case they're not.
Whoa! Wrong one.
What?
Oh, the lower
yeah,
cap gave off.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Dump a whole lot of glue on there.
Pour it on.
Pour it on, pour it on, pour it on. Hey, Fish.
Hi.
Do you think you could collect your thing here so that we can get in around other stuff?
Yeah, I guess so.
Your riblet thing?
Riblet?
Or
yeah,
discard it, or depending on whatever.
The McRiblet?
Well, I mean, this guy right here.
Oh, that thing too?
Yeah, that way we can come in this way and get out the
Sure,
spring case
yeah.
thing. And...
Alright, yeah, that's probably a better priority than
I mean, it doesn't look very important.
doing whatever I'm doing.
I wouldn't spend like 3 weeks on it, but...
Sure. Yeah, if I just pop that out, I know.
Sure.
And Season B says, if you're excavating a dinosaur tooth and scratch yourself on it, were you technically bitten by a dinosaur?
Sure.
You know, I don't know. I think the insurance company would probably say yes, and that dinosaur bites are not covered. So that Band-Aid is going to cost about, yeah, about $150,000.
One for each year the animal is dead.
They don't cover dinosaurs. If it had been a non-dinosaur dinosauriform, then you would have been covered, but Not dinosaurs proper. No, I have lost my finger to a dinosaur before. Not my finger, fingernail, sorry. I was working in the Hell Creek, and then we were digging at this Leptoceratops bone bed, and we had all these big jackets of Leptoceratops bones, and then we were trying to bring them back to the museum, and we got this sudden hailstorm. So we're trying to make it out of camp so we can get back to civilization before the hail and the rain, which came shortly thereafter, made the roads impassable. So we're just like trying to load all these jackets into the truck, just absolutely frantically. And a big jacket ended up falling on my pinky finger, and it just went boom, it just bounced off of it. And then as it did that, the nail just kind of separated from the nail bed, and then it's like a day or two later the nail just fell out. But it grew back, and now there it is there. No worse for wear. But yeah, for a while I did get to tell people, yeah, I lost that fingernail to a dinosaur. And F Mike says, how's the findings been today? Always good vibes on a Saturday? Yeah, pretty good. It's too hot out, but apart from that, you know, we're doing well. Yeah. And we've got 501 people watching right now. Excellent.
What? They should be watching the Olympics.
What do you mean? This is sport.
Don, what's your favorite Olympics movie?
Favorite Olympics movie?
Yeah.
Talladega Nights? No,
Cool Runnings.
what's the Will Ferrell one where he's ice skating?
That's I just watched it.
Blades of Glory?
Blades of Glory.
I don't know if I have a favorite Olympics. I thought they were going to say my favorite Olympic sport.
Sports is a real thing.
Hurling.
No, everybody knows it's not important unless it's on TV or in a movie. It doesn't exist.
Or a TV movie.
Well, I guess Olympic events are televised anyway, so that joke doesn't really work. But yeah.
You can watch just about all of them now.
Jesse Owens
Back in
story.
the old days, you know. Oh yeah, Jesse Owens movie was pretty good.
Yeah?
That early was-
Is he related to Richard Owen? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, I'm just trying to
They're
figure out
twin
where
brothers.
Richard Owens.
Now, the Jesse Owens story is actually really cool. It was what, the 1936 Olympics or something like that?
No, sure.
Oh boy.
So typically, the way the order of operations is we don't give stuff a number in this book until it's out.
And was Chariots of Fire an Olympics movie? I think it probably is, Claire. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, did Fisher click?
And F Mike says, do jackets crumble away if rain occurs or something like that? A well-made jacket should be rain resistant, but not waterproof. Like if you dunk a jacket, don't ever dunk a field jacket into water. It would not be good. They should be water resistant, but not like watertight. But yeah, in this case, we were really frantic to get all the jackets into the truck so we could make it onto a paved road, because all of the roads that were nearby camp that we had to drive over in order to get back to civilization, you know, they were dirt roads, and they were bentonitic sediment. So, like, there's a lot of volcanic ash in them, and then when they get wet, they just turn to muck. Just an absolute mire of mud. The locals call it gumbo. And, yeah, if we hadn't gotten out within, like, that 5-minute window, we would have been stuck there for days and days and days, because the roads would have been completely impassable. So the stakes were definitely high in that moment. Oh, did you get that guy out?
Yeah.
Alright,
It's
nice.
probably not worth keeping.
Mm,
It crumbled a little bit and it wasn't good to begin with.
well, you tried.
I could probably put it back together, but I don't know if it's worth that time. Like,
Yeah. If it's just like a chunk of
it's
undiagnostic
like
bone.
this.
Bone bean.
A couple pieces.
Oh yeah, it's a few minutes this way.
mean, that's in one piece, so
Yeah.
the other one, I'm not so sure it's worth it. Spending all that time trying to stick it back together and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ethan was like, this is cool, but I wasn't convinced.
How's the tetherball team doing this year?
Oh yeah, Napoleon Dynamite.
No, the Olympic tetherball.
Cool thing now with Peacock, you can watch all kinds of obscure stuff.
Yeah.
So yesterday I watched a little archery.
Nice. Yeah. Some synchronized running.
Some archery, a little water polo.
What was the other one too? Octobles tennis. These were all 30 Rock jokes. I didn't make those up.
Track and field is starting. American women's bronze in the 10,000 meters.
Nice. Do you have a rough idea of the medals count right now?
I think the U.S. is in the lead, followed by France.
Nice. Well, they've got the home field advantage.
They had BMX racing,
Oh, yeah?
which the race only lasts like 40 seconds.
Wow. Shoot.
You know, on those track dudes. And it's funny because they're all these like fully adult human males doing it. You know, you think they're like kids doing BMX.
Are they the
These
little
guys are in- yeah,
bikes with the
little
side
tiny-
pegs on them?
Little tiny bikes.
Yeah.
And
On like half pipes and
but
stuff?
big dudes, and they got all these whoopie-doos around.
Cool.
But in the men's race, the French swept the podium, so they got
Oh, wow.
silver and bronze. First time they swept the podium since the 1924 Paris Olympics.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, to see the guys, they're all just like 30-something dudes on these tiny little bikes.
Yeah. Did you ever see underwater hockey? That's a weird sport. That sounds really cool.
Freestyle would probably be a lot younger too.
Who would get the golden speed jacketing? Oh shoot, in this story? I don't know. I can make a jacket pretty quick, but I do a lot of steps that, you know, would add to my time, like soaking the burlap beforehand.
Oh, that's definitely no longer done in competitive. There's lots of viral stuff from the shooting sports.
I saw that. Yeah, there was the
One
guy.
Korean gal that had like this like
Oh, yeah.
crazy thing. And,
Yeah.
and then there was some Turkish dude who just shows up.
He was
and
like one hand in his pocket.
he puts
and
his
he's
hand in his pocket and he got like the silver medal.
just- like no special
There's all these
eyewear,
memes
no hearing protection either on that guy.
Well, he had little ear.
Oh, did he? Okay.
But not like the big earmuffs. But yeah, then you're finding lots of different memes and stuff.
And the Celtic Bard says hello from Canada. Hello from Utah, Celtic Bard. It's good to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. Casey Snowart says, at what point in the dig do the practical jokes and camp pranks start? What do you mean start?
15 minutes in?
It's a constant fact of life.
I think they start before we even leave Salt Lake City.
Yeah. I hope you're doing well, Casey. It's good to see you. And Real Adam Player says, this is one of the most unique streams I've come across. Wow. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you, thank you. It's good to have you here. Let me know if you got any questions. I mean, Twitch isn't full of live Dinosaur Dig broadcasts?
Making it when you have a paleontologizing booth at SVP.
There you go. No, I'm presenting on this streaming at SVP this year. And last year I had a talk during the virtual session too. It's up on YouTube. Not very many people watched it, but it's the virtual session, you know? So, yeah. But it was cool.
Losing focus.
So 4:30? Yeah.
Wasn't that? Yeah, we put that one in there too.
Let's see.
So they're in here.
I mean, because I marked something. I believe we're pretty much where you're
And hiding from the Texas heat inside for a moment. I hope you're hiding as successful, Casey Snowart. Yeah, you stay cool.
Big and dinos in Texas in July. Total experience.
Yeah. F. Mike is recalling one of our discussion questions from Wyoming. What was the biggest dog you'd ever seen, and why?
Dog.
A beautiful dog.
Large dog.
Why did you see it?
Proctor Lake, Dinosaur Dig in July. 85.
85?
85, July, when they discovered Proctor Lake. I just happened to be there.
I thought you meant 85 degrees.
No, it was like 105
Yeah.
and 110% humidity.
What? 110%?
I mean, it was literally, you walk down your Proctor Lake,
Yeah.
it just got thicker. It was just as warm, and that water was...
It's got to swim to the quarry.
Oh, man, it was awful. It was really, really, really sad. You're hanging into these holes, and you're just so... Wring out your Levi's.
Jeez.
Wring them out.
I would die if I had to wear Levi's or any other kind of long pants.
You're the toughest person on earth for wearing that.
Seriously.
If I was wearing those, my legs would literally melt off.
Yeah.
My legs are too tender. They're too tender. They hate being on rock. I've learned that.
I almost wore very
Still baby soft after almost 7
And Saya Sank, hello to you.
It's too
Yeah.
I buy some nice
just
light
want one, or-
khakis, but haven't found any that fit me. Big.
Oh, and Casey Snowart, we were in Colorado just the other day. I'm sure you were probably there, huh? Yeah, we raided in, actually, after that stream. We went out to Fruta to go to Rob Gaston's workshop, which was really awesome. Plant material.
Good stuff.
Yeah, some fun stuff. He's got a vertebrae, he's got a rib, phalanx maybe 2 days ago, theropod tooth,
Bits and bobs.
Any chub-ups?
No chub-ups.
I'm not quite sure what a chub-up is yet.
It's like a cherub, but more rotund.
Friendly cherub. Chub-ups.
No, they're nasty.
No, but
yeah?
chub-ups are fun. Fun cherubs. Well, yeah, I mean, they look so cute. Of course, they're diabolical. Ruthless.
And Dreamer Station says, loves from Brazil. Well, loves from Utah. Welcome to Paleontologizing. Come to Brazil. Where that crocodile papa is hiding, Dreamer Station asks. I don't know, where'd he go? We got Mammal Papa right here. That's Fisher. Oh, with a crocodile on his shirt today.
Yes.
So I guess he's right here.
Borealis.
Oh yeah. The northern crocodile. Yankee crocodile.
Oh, really?
Alright. Look at this shelf here. This is beautiful.
Beautiful shelf.
Oh yeah.
You do help us shepherd these over these corners. With that right there. And then we need a corner on that.
And Dr. Hub says, my grandmother's family lived in Fruta, and my grandfather was born in Cripple Creek. Very cool. Yeah, some of Jim's in-laws' ancestors are from the region, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or your in-laws are from there. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Palisade, Clifton, since probably the 1890s.
Wow. Nice. Yeah.
Actually, longer than that. the one at Dolores Triangle, that was like the 1870s.
Wow. Fruta, that's a cool area. It really is. And I love just driving through town and seeing all of the kind of like dinosaur, landmarks, accoutrement, whatever you want to call them. Big Tyrannosaur, Allosaur sculpture on the side of the road, and lots of Ceratosaurus stuff everywhere on billboards and signposts and that kind of thing.
City dinosaur.
How many cities have an official municipal dinosaur?
I don't know.
That's pretty cool. That Ceratosaurus nasicornis?
Magnacornis.
Magnacornis.
That's the one they named from Fruta.
Huh.
I don't know if it's valid, but it was named from Fruta by Jim Adson.
Oh, right.
The gross ones are
Sam Wells.
And Dr. Hub says, tell Jim my dad went to Judge Memorial in Salt Lake City. Judge Memorial. Is that like a hospital?
That's that ribby looking thing right there.
Not sure what that is.
Yeah, it's just one of the schools.
Oh, it's one of the schools. Okay, cool.
My grandkids were in a charter school.
Yeah.
My daughter went to Hunter High, West Valley.
West Valley, Alabama.
The other side of the tracks.
Oh, that breeze is nice. Yeah. And have we ever dug out in Colorado, or do you just go sightseeing? Jim spent a good part of his life out in Colorado. We drove by Mygatmore Quarry on the way
Pointed
there.
out the Fruta Paleo area, worked there for years.
Nice, yeah. Yeah.
Probably one of my premier publications is on the taxonomy.
Nice.
Tapo species.
That is a really cool spot. I remember going there in 2014 at the Mid-Mesozoic meeting. And you showing us around, and that was pretty neat. What's the designation for that? If it's a paleo area, does that belong to the city or county? Or?
No, it's BLM.
Okay. Federal, okay.
That was back when BLM in Colorado, they were setting aside important geological sites. So it was one of the very first paleo places. It was set aside in 77.
Nice.
You know, one of the very first places in the nation where the BLM set aside a very important area for its fossils. And now it's part of McGinnis Canyon's conservation area, but it's still a special subdivision of it.
And Salamander's here. Salamander, thank you so much for sending that money for pizza last night. That was phenomenal. Really, really enjoyed that. So I appreciate your generosity and your support. Thank you, Salamander, and Lenina again for doing that. Here, I gotta move that encoder out of the sun before it overheats. There we go.
You think it's worth?
Into the
No. Okay. Cool.
cable get pinched. What happened here?
Rib or something.
Yeah. Okay. And then, but this one, the yes.
It's good now? Okay. That was a, it settled just as he started to get up. That's got to be like a cable issue. I might have to switch out the cable on that. I did bring replacements just in case. So, even if this thing conks out completely, the cable, we're not sunk. But the base of it is looking a little pinched. That's what's going on. And DC Chemex says, I notice you're digging and leaving a nice smooth surface. Am I right in guessing that that's just how the rock is layered? Yes. I could make a facetious remark and try and say, oh no, we're so good at carving it down so nice and clean. But no, this is how the rock is layered. It comes up in these nice slabs like this and with these smooth surfaces. I guess from different depositional events, probably. Yeah. Like, maybe these represent a year or several months, or I don't know. But given this was an ancient, like,
all the paycheck things are done right.
What did Jim say?
Boggy Fern Fan.
A Boggy Fern Fan. Yeah. Yeah, you just had accumulating sediments here. And they just kind of layer up like this. Ooh, and they come up nice and clean like this. Yeah, I'll go at it from the side.
Annual meeting, it's $20 to register. But then after the 5th, it's $25.
Oh, really?
I said if you want to register.
Oh, yeah.
So, August 5th, the price goes up?
Yeah.
Ooh.
From 20 to 25. So
Uh-oh. Well, shoot, let me register right now.
Not a make or break. I assume the registration's open if you're...
UtahPaleo.org. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, that's for the meeting. I don't think I'm going to the meeting. When is that?
Oh yeah, it's just for the meeting.
It's like Labor Day weekend.
Oh, okay. Well, I will not be here.
Okay.
But if anybody is in Utah and they'd like to join the Utah Friends of Paleontology, anybody in chat, then you can get early registration. $20 instead of $25 for the Labor Day weekend meeting, I guess.
Good field trips.
Which is going to be in Price, Utah. Very cool. One of the coolest towns in Utah.
I'm involved.
You were talking about
Got a bit of a guy here.
Oh,
Well, no.
is it bone or is it
I'm
plant?
trying to check out something.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to check
Okay.
out.
It doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
It has glue on it right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's still early. I'd rather have it cooler.
Set, but
That section.
there's something in there.
Oh man.
really the SVP is not till the very end of the month.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, most of my stuff. My post
I
is
just think it
done.
might be a little bit
Hey Jim,
harder
Yeah.
do you
logistically.
know where these specimen cards are? Or are we out?
I think they're
There's
attached
only
right there.
two.
There should be a bag. I brought 100 of them in a bag.
There's several bags. One of them's in the action pack and one of them's in the mapping container.
I just heard some talk about them being gone.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we haven't used 100 of them.
There should be a big old bag in the big action pack, I think.
What? No, because we only do it for wrap-ups, not for the
Yeah,
jacket.
we might have used like 40.
Oh, it's not in there. That's mine.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me put that away too.
We want some melty peanut butter thing.
They're amazing if you use them to make s'mores with it.
Aha!
Well, there's a brand new. There was a
Small
new
one, yeah.
a bag of a bunch of new ones.
No, yeah, I know. I haven't seen it in a while. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Well, that's not
Okay,
it.
you
But
can-
that is cards. But there should. I mean, I brought 100 of them. So there's no way.
It doesn't matter. They'll work, I think.
Oh yeah, those will work.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it.
Nice. That's it.
No,
Well, I mean, it's just cards.
Just use cards. Just use them. It doesn't matter.
the little bag had only full cards, so you might as well use those. It was a new bag, but there was 100 of them.
And Cassini Returns says, good evening. One question, how do you know that there might be dinosaur bones or other fossils in that specific spot under the tent? I could make a joke about like, oh, why are you looking for your keys under the spotlight? Or under the street light? Well, because the light's better here. There are dinosaur fossils all throughout the floor of this valley that we're working in. For this particular site right here, we've been working for the past 3 summers now. And we've had hundreds of bones of this iguanodont dinosaur, which we think is a new species or a new genus.
There you go.
That's the one, yeah. But yeah. Jim and Don originally found this site, or this area, close to like 20 years ago. Just found dinosaur bone weathering out of the bottom of the valley here. Right, weathering out of the valley floor. And yeah, it turns out this whole valley here is just a treasure trove of earliest Cretaceous dinosaur fossils. So that's why we're here.
Jurassic is just a few meters below our butts.
Yeah, just super exciting. Like, the only place in North America where you can find dinosaurs of this particular age. It's important. Ooh. This pebble, it's like, oh, it almost looks like turtle bone.
Turtle bone is highly prized here. Tells us about the water, the geochem of the shell.
Somebody said, I think Fisher wants a peanut butter thing. His eyes lit up.
There's light.
You're getting called out here.
There's light in your eyes, Fisher? Oh, yeah.
Whoa. I don't think I need a peanut butter thing at the moment.
Watching your figure?
Yeah.
I don't think you need to do that, Fisher.
Yeah.
Peanut butter
Roaring metabolism.
Peanut butter thing.
want to be sticky right now.
And Cassini Return says, thanks for taking the time to explain. You bet. How old is the soil you're working on? This is actually not soil, this is rock right here. Mudstone. And this particular mudstone.
Ed Simpson is at Thompson getting gas.
Oh, nice. Cool. I'll be here soon. So yeah, this rock was laid down about 142 million years ago. At the bottom of a kind of a swampy Boggy Fern Fan, as Jim said earlier. So just kind of a, you know, marshy, swampy area dominated by ferns and fern relatives. I sell ferns and fern accessories. I don't know why he sounded like Charles Barkley. Oh no, terrible. A Boggy Fern Fan. Yeah. And DC Chemic says, so is there anyone in the present company who's considered a bit of a rock star / A-lister in the world of paleontology? Well, I mean, you're looking at the Utah Assistant State Paleontologist and State Paleontologist right here.
I'm definitely not an A-lister. Jim is.
You'd be a well-respected supporting actor.
Yeah. I might be a B,
Yeah.
B actor.
But Jim Kirkland over there, most definitely,
Apologies,
yeah. There's I guess the way that you could actually like quantify that would be in vertebrate paleontology, at least. Recipients of the Romer-Simpson Medal, which is like the highest award that a paleontologist can receive. We don't have a Nobel Prize in paleontology, but we've got the Romer-Simpson Medal. Not named after Homer Simpson, named after Alfred Sherwood Romer and George Gaylord Simpson. And there's, you know, it's been bandied about that Jim could be a candidate for the Romer-Simpson.
It has not been bandied about.
I've heard whispers, Jim.
Yeah.
I've heard whispers.
You've heard whispers.
Yeah.
I seriously
Okay
doubt
with this?
that.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Okay. But no, Jim is a big shot. I know he acts humble, but... Yeah.
It's all a matter of citation index.
Huh?
What's this?
How many citations you've had?
Lot, no doubt.
Citation index.
Salt Postilian says, I mean, anybody who has his own Wikipedia page is a rock star in my book.
Jeez, there are a lot of people with Wikipedia pages.
It's true, but how many dinosaur paleontologists have their own Wikipedia page? Or sorry, I can't even say vertebrate paleontologists because you've worked on so many inverts as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've named ammonites and snails,
Yeah.
clams.
Clams of Laramidia.
I have the best ostracod in the world named after me.
Really?
A low bar and
For all the true ostracod heads.
Oh, man.
Oscar nerds.
Yeah. I don't know, they hold a vote every year when they go to Ostracodapalooza.
Yeah. Right on the Centimanian-Tronian boundary.
What's the name of that ostracod?
Oh, it's like Phosphorethia kirklandi or something like that. Neil Tyson, the lead author on the paper. Mark Leckie.
I'm not seeing it, but I'm sure I'm spelling it wrong.
Could you throw this in a separate small zip?
Although there's Jim's ResearchGate page. Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Holy cow, 209 publications for Jim. 125,516 reads.
That's just on ResearchGate.
5,300 citations. Wow. That's impressive, Jim.
I just gotta make sure they're all really me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it's your profile on there, yeah. But I know what you mean.
Dr. Kirkland, who does cancer research.
But Salt Pastillion says they found your Wikipedia page. They want to know about your Star Trek novel, First Frontier.
Hey.
You know what? I'll bring that to the quarry tomorrow if I remember, and we'll have Jim sign it live on stream. Because I keep forgetting to ask him to do that.
Do a reading.
Yeah.
Kirk meets T-Rex, and Spock meeting T-Rex had to happen. It's just...
Did they encounter a dromaeosaur too, like on the cover?
Well, there's a dinosaur. I mean, the artist was, they didn't know what they're doing on any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So that's. But the dinosauroids, of course, are intelligent Maniraptorians. It would have been a much better book if no lawyers had stuck their nose into it. So what's the probability of rain tonight?
Automatically makes you an A-lister if you have a Star Trek novel.
Hey.
Maybe 10 or 20%. Probably cover it just 'cause there's
Yeah, let me look too.
slight monsoonal disturbance happening around.
I'm starting to hack. I glued up the only thing I've uncovered, and it's not impressive.
Today, 15% chance of rain.
Yeah, it's been 0 for quite a while.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much we have.
It's like book cliffs and.
It looks like almost everything's kind of covered too. So.
Yeah, no, we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
There's no evidence of big monster storms heading this way. Fill the quarry with water.
Gary Ankelis wants to know, why are some of the greatest people also Trekkies? Do you have any comment on that, Jim?
Well, what kind of world do you want?
Yeah.
The Star Trek future or the Mad Max future? And I picked the Star Trek future.
Do you like, do you prefer Lycra or leather?
There's going to be a lot of good outcrop in Mad Max future.
That's a good point, Fisher. Yeah. I don't know. Be space pilled or desert pilled. Or you could do Dune and have both.
Yeah, my daughter, when she was young, wanted to be an astropaleontologist.
Yeah.
Find the first fossils on Mars.
And a bunch of Lystrosaurus up there too at the beginning of the Triassic.
Like them red beds. Can't underestimate red beds. Productivity for Triassic fossils.
Yeah. Bubsy wants to know if there's an unlawyerified version of the book in existence.
No. We could talk about how we were going to do it.
Yeah.
Before they said, you can't do that. We killed them off in the last movie.
Is there like a Star Trek day? You know, like Star Wars is supposed to be May 4th. Is there a
Not
Star?
that I know of.
It is, I forget the date, but it's the day they discovered warp speed.
Oh, really?
Oh, in the what was that? Star Trek 7 or something?
I can't remember.
But the one where Next Generation goes.
Yeah,
back.
yeah. That takes place in Bozeman, Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I used to live.
Yes.
Yeah. First Contact. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, certainly one of the better films.
But
who doesn't like the board?
anyway, it'd be cool to do an interview with Jim on that day, whatever that is. September 8th, First Contact Day.
April what?
Okay.
September 8th.
September 8th.
No, it's April 4th or 5th or something like that.
Everyone in chat saying September 8th. Yeah. Thank you, chat. Oh, and I guess we're wrapping up here?
Yep.
All right, let's wrap up the stream so I can help with the teardown. And, yeah. Ooh. Anyway, let's wrap this thing up. Thank you, everybody, for watching today. And, hope you're okay with, just having a chill stream. Didn't really find too many bones today or anything. We're just kind of cutting down through some of those upper layers. Hopefully we'll be in the bone zone very soon. Probably tomorrow. But until then, everybody, you take care of yourselves. And let's see who else we can raid into right now. Don't go away just yet. Who else is live on Twitch doing something cool that we can rudely interrupt with a raid? Let's see here. Twitch just updated the mobile app and now I can't find anything. Live. How do I... Oh, goodness. I just want a list, you know? Give me a list. I don't even follow these people. What is up with this? I don't know. Shoot, chat, give me a suggestion. Who should I raid into right now? Who's live? Dyson Dinosaur or Paleostream? Oh, Dyson Dinosaur is live? Well, well, well. It's Saturday, isn't it? Dice and Dinosaur. Did that work? It did. Brilliant. All right. So we're going to go check out the only other dinosaur paleontologist I know of on Twitch. Dyson Dinosaur. Filippo Bertozzo, who works on iguanodonts. We'll go pay him a visit, and if we're lucky, he'll still be streaming in English right now, because it is Saturday. Oh man, I'm glad we can raid him. This is excellent. It might be the first time we've been able to do this. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for your viewership, for your questions, for your enthusiasm, for your kind words, and for your financial support. That's the reason I can be out here in the first place. And I am deeply grateful for that, as always. So thank you, thank you. And I hope to see you again tomorrow for a chill Sunday stream, doing some more excavation and Q&A and all that good stuff. So anyway, you take care of yourselves and each other, and let's go check out Dyson Dinosaur, the only other dinosaur paleontologist on Twitch. Let's go see what he's up to. See you there.